I've always been fascinated by time, by the subjectivity of time.
Time is an obsession in the cinema of Christopher Nolan. When dealing with his abstract concept, the question we need to ask is, how does Nolan represent time through visuals, through sound, through editing or narrative storytelling? In Christopher Nolan's first feature film, our hero is a hapless patsy who is manipulated through an elaborate scheme by a man in a suit and an archetypal femme fatale. It is a classic noir story.
Take a look for yourself.
But the way it's told is far from linear. Nolan aggressively cross-cuts 4 timelines, shifting time around to create confusion and build up to a shocking climax.
It was cold.
He confuses, but at the same time, he also guides. Nolan often uses visual cues to represent time, to let the viewer know where they are. In his second film, the visual cue is the most flagrant, and the way its 2 timelines are connected is at once more complex and also easier to understand.
Well, that's the thing. I have this condition.
Leonard has not only lost his memory, but also his wife.
Awake. I know who I am. I know all about myself. Since my injury, I can't make new memories. Everything fades.
Through the editing, Leonard's condition becomes our condition. Our main character moves backwards in color. No! While in the second timeline, the narrative moves forward in black and white. The 2 timelines are fragmented like his memory,
Ouch.
but pieced together to show Leonard's circular motion, perpetually looking for his wife's killer.
Well,
The structure of his next film is less adventurous, but the passage of time is just as important. Insomnia begins with a detective visiting the town of Nightmute, Alaska. In his pursuit of a killer, he becomes one. When his partner dies at his hands, he is stuck between the past and the present, haunted by a memory.
I went and took some blood samples from the boy's dead body, and I planted them.
Nolan makes his moral turmoil come to life in the shape of a town. You see, the second most striking thing about Nightmute, Alaska,
Halibut fishing capital of the world.
is that for 20 days a year, the sun never sets. And if the sun is always up, how are you supposed to feel the onset of a new day?
How am I supposed to heal if I can't feel time?
Nolan is always interested in heightening the urgency of time.
I need 5 minutes alone. No! There's no time!
Or even doing away with it altogether. In The Prestige, time is filtered through the eyes of 2 magicians, Alfred Borden and Robert Angier, are 2 sides of the same coin. Together, till death do them part. Overcome by grief and driven by vengeance, both men peer in the other's mind through their journals. So as Borden reads Angier's diary, he and we dive into this other story.
Search for answers.
Within that story level, now, it's Angier who is deciphering Borden's notebook.
Borden's journal entry for April 3rd, 1897.
This way, each level exists in the one before.
We were 2 young men at the start of a great career. 2 young men devoted to an illusion.
Imagine if instead of journals, Nolan used dreams.
A dream within a dream.
When one reads the other's diary, they dive into the first level. But in Nolan's dreams, you not only peer into the subconscious, but in Inception,
It's a week, the first level down. 6 months, the second level down, and the third level.
It's 10 years.
time expands with each new dream level. The fourth and last is Limbo. There, time stops. Dreaming, Cobb grew old with his wife.
We did, you don't remember.
Awake, he's haunted by her presence. But the deeper he dives, the realer she becomes. Time is bent out of shape in all his movies, but while in Inception 10 hours becomes a week in the dream world, 1 hour close to the gravitational pull of a black hole turns into 7 years in the real world.
Well, that's relativity, folks.
While Memento, Insomnia, The Prestige, and Inception brought back the memories that torment Nolan's character. In Interstellar, Cooper's memories merge with reality when he becomes unstuck in time. However more complex Nolan's time adventures have become,
Don't let me leave, Merv!
and will become,
Turn it around!
there's always one simple reason for the way Nolan bends time. Even his more conventionally structured films abide by these rules. The narrative of the Batman trilogy revolves around a single moment. That one moment haunts our hero. Trauma sets the clock.
T-minus 10. 9.
There's always that one moment that breaks time.
6.
One moment of loss
My fucking life back!
that sets a man's life running backwards. That takes the story of two friends and twists it into a tale of rivalry.
Oh, no!
That sends a man back in time or deep into his subconscious.
I could feel it right there. This is gonna catch up with me.
I realize I'm gonna regret this moment the moment's past. Whatever I do, I can't change this moment.
Nolan's characters are frozen in time, stuck in those moments. But in the attempt to change them, some make it through.